All right, guys, really haven't done anything with this system for a long time on video. We ran it through the winter. Remember, I did this system just to show you guys how easy it is to build an aquaponics system with off-the-shelf stuff. As you can see, I've got almost everything pulled out of here. And what I'm doing is I'm taking this system down now. The tilapia are going out into the IBC in the greenhouse. It looks like I had a total of 30 tilapia that I overwintered in here, and some of them got pretty big. What I wanted to do is just kind of end this whole indoor aquaponics project, you know, with the actual ending, everything coming down. You guys see I got a pipe run here, and I've been draining it. And if you've ever tried to net tilapia, not an easy thing, but the less water they have, the easier it gets. So I thought maybe you guys would want to take a look at the tilapia, and hopefully I won't hate myself for doing this, because hopefully this net, I'm going to try to straddle it so it doesn't back off. Whoa! There we go. Those are the final 5. If you want to get an idea of like the biggest one, and there's about, I'd say a dozen about that size. That guy's way easy to eat now, but imagine what he'll be like next year. So let's end this on an up note. We'll head on in the greenhouse and put these guys in their new old home. Some of them were in this very place before, and they're going back to it now. And 30 really big tilapia at the end of the next season will be a pretty nice harvest. So just so I do this right, see if everybody else is in there waiting already, I'm gonna have to set the phone down. All right, everybody's in the pool, and dive to the bottom, I guess. Hopefully they will get along with those little goldfish. Now, I wanted to show you some of the stuff I pulled out of the bed for today, and I'll show you where some of this stuff is going. I got more beet greens than I can handle. This thing was cut, God, a dozen times or more. This one I didn't cut. I wanted to see what would happen to a beet, a baby beet. So these are those baby beets you get. They're about golf ball size in 3 months. And, you know, call me crazy. I think that could have just kept going for a lot longer. But good night. So the upshot of that is, if you don't cut them, the roots get bigger. But if you do cut them, as it grows back, you get more leaf. Because I guarantee you that I cut more leaf than that off of that other one. Some of the other stuff I wanted to show you. Here's your green onions that we just bought from the store and put in place. I mean, you see why I get excited about aquaponics. Here's a little onion. That one went in there later. Just, people say that, you know, you can't grow nutrient-dense food in an aquaponics system. These people are people that are not to be trusted. How do you not have a nutrient-dense food when you're growing in freaking lava rock? So you have lava sand that gardeners are paying good money for to put in their gardens. And you get a root system like this, growing in a system full of worms, fueled by fungus and bacteria fed on fish poo. How do you get not nutrient dense? You don't. That's how. Here's another one of the golden beets. And, I mean, the chickens are probably going to get a lot of this, because what I've learned is when you do yank one of these out, it doesn't replant real well. If you want to replant it, the best thing to do is lob it. I just can't handle this much beet greens, you know, in a single pull. I would never do this normally, but there's the celery. And that was a celery core from the grocery store we popped in there. And like I said, I've had some of these in systems 3 or 4 years and still be cutting celery off them. You can see there's a little bit of a light color to the greens, because those indoor lights were only just barely enough light for everything that was in there, honestly. Those lights are designed to be a lot closer to the plants. There's a white beet. I'm gonna have to eat the white one and the yellow one tonight. I'm actually not a fan of red beets because they bleed everywhere when you cut them. But I put them in there because the day I started this project, that's all we could get. But this is the leftovers. We ate out of this thing several times a week for 3 freaking months, and those are the leftovers. And what I got to do now, I got to get all of this beautiful expanded shell that I'm going to be using to cap another bed. I'll show you right now where some of the stuff's headed to. First of all, this whole system is going to be built out. And when I say built out, I mean getting bigger than it is right now with more beds. But that 300-gallon tank is going to be our main tank. And it's going to go in a kind of a demo site right here. So when people come out here and go, you got 3 acres, Jack? I don't have no space. I can go, okay, here's 12 by 12 space. This is what you could do. And here's what I've been doing with the rest of my weekend. Lost about half a day yesterday driving around in my truck, going to stores with my wife, picking up my other vehicle from the dealership that had to get maintenance and detailed and all that, but did manage to get this stuff done yesterday. So, remember I put those 2 wicking beds and I said I was going to replace the concrete tray beds that were on the back side here with these larger beds. What I decided to do is one ebb and flow bed, and this is going to get capped with that shale. So I'm going to go and pull all that shale off the top, sift out the lava rock, and I'm going to cap this bed with it. You see what's mainly going to go in here. These are Chinese water chestnuts. So this will essentially be a reed bed, but an edible reed bed. I just think it's good for the health of this 1,100-gallon system to have at least one ebb and flow bed. And then I put in another one of these shallow wicking beds, and I have a bunch of ground nuts. Now this is the most shaded spot here. It gets the least amount of sun. Because it's a wicking bed, a shallow wicking bed, it has to stay very, very moist. So ground nuts grow on shady creek banks where the soil stays moist. So this is a perfect analog to where ground nut wants to grow. Did I say ground cherry? I meant ground nut. So I got these really special, they're called nutty ground nuts. They're huge. They get as big as like almost your fist. From LSU University. I had to wait for years to get my sample of them, but I've got a bunch that I grew out and propagated, and they're going to go in here. And so that's what I got ahead of me for the rest of the day. So the indoor build has done its thing. That shard there actually came out of that indoor build too. I put it there mainly to keep it alive, so I'll figure out where I want it to go. Things are looking up here, guys. It's been a heck of a month. First couple months of this year, I wanted to quit. This was a tough dadgone beginning to the season, and I don't know, March got better, and if April gets as much better as March did, I'm not gonna know what to do with myself. I was looking to see, put pictures up of him earlier, but he's gone now. Little green tree frogs moved in. He's living in this little reed forest here. If you build it, they will come. I'll catch up with you guys later.